Hello loves, my name is K.Hill of Lockccessories.com, your online home for all things curls, coils, kinks, and locks. I want to welcome you to tonight's CurlChat. I know you might be wondering why I'm standing behind this mask, and it's to prove a point. It's actually what tonight's topic is all about. And it's my big question to you. I want to know, are you showing up 100% in your life right now, or are you hiding behind a mask? Let's talk about it. So when I say hiding behind a mask, I don't, of course, literally mean hiding behind a mask. I'm talking about figuratively. Are you hiding behind your mask in life? Are you being someone other than your full representation of yourself? And that doesn't have to be being fake or trying to live a double life. It just simply means, are you holding back part of yourself because you're afraid of what other people might say or think or how they're going to respond to you? Are you not being fully present and fully 100 with who you are inside because you're afraid of the backlash, the potential backlash? You might not have even had the backlash, or you may have had some, and it scared you and shut you down. Because the thing is, like, when we are growing up, we're given a lot of rules from our parents, from our loved ones, and little by little, it causes us to shrink. It causes us to, self-restrict, keep ourselves held back. You notice that when you're a kid, you're not afraid to try new things. You're not afraid to walk up to that new kid at the sandbox and ask them, do they want to play? You're not afraid. You're not afraid to color outside the lines. You're not afraid to mix patterns and mix match outfits. Remember Garanimals to help you match your patterns? You weren't afraid to wear outfits that didn't match. But as we get older, we start to box ourselves in. And why is that? Again, because we're afraid of what others might think. I actually came across a post, a video came up in my news feed today. And it was basically a guy who was sharing a story of his rich aunt who had all these beautiful things in her house. She had beautiful china, she had beautiful silverware, she had, just gorgeous things in her house that were not to be touched. He asked her what she was going to do with them, and she said she was saving them for a special occasion. And unfortunately, she died soon thereafter, never having an opportunity to use all those beautiful things that she was collecting. And we kind of do that in our lives too, with our person. We're saving the best versions of ourselves for that special occasion, that special moment when someone gives us permission to fully be ourselves, to dance unabashedly on the dance floor, to do those moves that other people might think are a little wacky, but they make you feel good. They make you feel alive, right? We're all afraid of those things. And it's because, well, you tell me, do you do that in your life? Are there ways, like maybe you're going to work and not laughing as heartily as you would at home because you don't want to seem like too much? Or maybe you're not wearing your hair the way that makes you feel most alive and most yourself because you're afraid of what others might think. Your hair might be too much, right? Are you doing that? Let me know. And if so, back to the childlike inhibition. How do we give? Hi, Beverly. Thanks for stopping by. Beverly, are you showing up 100 in your life right now? Let me know. Are you sitting on the sidelines, waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect opportunity to really let go and be yourself? I want to know. Because we all do it. We all do it. Some of us more so than others. But I want to encourage you to just take those moments and be yourself. Fully yourself, not just a version of yourself. Because that's the only way that you're going to get the most out of this life. You might subscribe to a certain religion, and there are various religions out there, and they all have, ideas about what's going to happen after we die. But truly, we only know what's right here and right now. And this is the opportunity you have to live your best life. So if you want to wear your hair wild and free, you should be able to. You're sometimes on the sidelines, Beverly. Let me know in what way. Is it at work? Is it at home? Are you like holding back from your friends? Because sometimes we might not want to say certain things because we might be afraid of being judged. And that's what it all boils down to, right? It's the fear of being judged. Because we're taught at a young age not to be different, right? We're taught it's not safe if you're not like everybody else. And so we push that part of ourselves down that's not like everybody else, that doesn't fit into the puzzle pieces. And we don't give that part of ourselves a voice. And we stifle it for so long that sometimes we don't even recognize it anymore. We don't even hear it anymore. And we have to fight to get it back. Who else? Regina joined us too. Hi, Regina. Let me know if you're sitting on the sidelines, or are you showing up 100 fully present in your life? And especially like for us natural girls, for us curly girls, and our lock stars out there, we have a lot of pressure to conform, right? And that's what the beauty of this whole natural hair revolution, not revolution, but kind of reconnection, I would say. Regina says, nope, she's showing up 100%. That's awesome. Maybe you can give us some tips. Throw a tip out there. I actually have some tips for you as well. One of my first tips to show up 100% if you're not learning not to stifle yourself. That's exactly. And it's a work in progress, right? We have to work on it every day because we're conditioned to not be different, to not stand out. But luckily, we are in a phase, or not a phase, but we're in an era where more and more people are being encouraged to be themselves. We have the embracing of different figures, right? We have the embracing of different hair textures, yeah? We have the embrace. What other things are we embracing right now? We're embracing, like for example, I can't think of her name, but the model that has the discoloration in her skin, is it called lupus? Vitiligo, that's what it's called. But she's a supermodel. And, a few, I would say even 5 to 10 years ago, that would have never been seen. Full-figured models were not highlighted, right? So we are starting to embrace all of these different viewpoints and vantage points, rather, of how to show up in the world. And to show up in the world fully present and fully ourselves. So I have a few tips, and you tell me if you agree or disagree. And if you have other tips for how you show up fully present in the world. My first tip is to feel the fear and do it anyway, right? Now, of course, we're not talking about obvious stuff like don't put your hand in the fire, right? We're not talking about that. But we're talking about things that where you want to do something, and you have that initial drive to do it, but then you talk yourself out of it immediately because of the fear. That's what I want you to feel, the fear, and do it anyway. Plus size, yeah. And so the other tip that I have, tip number 2, is to ask for forgiveness, not permission. And you might think that's a little, I don't know, but think about it. If you're always waiting for someone's permission, you'll always be holding yourself back. So it's better to use your own gut instinct, right? And do what you want, what's in front of you to do, what you might be being called to do. And then if someone is upset with it, analyze that situation after the fact. Now, of course, we're not talking about if you're harming anybody or things like that. But if it's something that you're being called to do in your spirit and you want to do it, do it. Don't hold yourself back. And the third tip, the last tip, is kind of one of my own, it's my own personal motto. And I say it all the time and I repeat it, think about it, meditate on it every day. And that's to live life by design, not by default. Because so many times we're put into these determined slots of how our lives should go. One main one is go to school, get a good job, follow that path. And if that's the path for you, that's awesome. That's great. But if that's not the path for you, don't be afraid to take a new path. Because I think it's Jim Rohn who says, if you don't have a plan of your own, you're likely to fall into someone else's plan. And guess how much they have planned for you? Not much at all. And say that to say what? Other people are not thinking how your best life looks and what is best for you. Only you can determine that. And only you have that say. So, take it. Take advantage of it. Take it in fully and fully maximize it. So how are you guys feeling? This is my evening curl chat. I'm trying different times to see what works best. Let me know, Beverly. Let me know, Regina, what you are thinking right now. How are you feeling? And actually tying into the showing up 100% in your life, you see I'm wearing this very colorful hair fascinator. And, normally, like when I had it on my website, I put it in a section called special occasions. And when I thought about it, like, why wouldn't I wear this? Just because. Whenever I felt like it. Why would I have to wait, or why would you have to wait for a special occasion to wear something that might be considered too much? Why not be too much? What's wrong with too much? Is there? Is there anything wrong with too much? I don't think so. Giving you food for thought? Awesome. Awesome. Because really, we only get this life as far as we know, right? I can't speak to what's going to happen in the hereafter. I can only speak to what's happening right now. And there's no reason for me to live 60% of my life. Because I don't want to get to my deathbed with a bunch of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Do you? I don't think so, right? And there's no reason that we should. We don't have to. We live in the most amazing time right now. We have access to the whole world with just a keyboard and an internet connection. That's amazing. Anything that you're interested in, you can find someone else who is interested in that same thing, and you can connect with them. So why not take full advantage of that? So anywho, I'm not going to keep you, but I appreciate you stopping by for our evening curl chat. Again, my name is K.Hill of LockAccessories.com, your online home for all things curls, coils, kinks, and locks. So when you have some time, stop on by the website, LockAccessories.com, because I have a full product line of hair accessories and hair maintenance tools to make your natural hair and your lock journey a heck of a lot easier. If you, Regina, she's trying to come out of her comfort zone. Girl, me too. Me too. And it's a work. I work on it every day. Every day. Like doing this live right now is me coming out of my comfort zone, taking baby steps. But I'm working on it. And there are things in your life that you're working on too, and I'm proud of you for it. So anyway, I want you to have a great evening. Thanks for stopping in and visiting with me. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you on the next Curl Chat. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.